My name is Jean, and I live with my husband Alex. Alex rarely does household chores and often treats me as if I'm his maid. I work part-time, but that doesn't seem to change his expectations. Hey, could you possibly cook dinner today? I asked Alex one evening. Huh? Why? He responded, looking at me like I'd just said something completely absurd. It looks like we're short-staffed today, and I might have to work overtime. Can you cook dinner for a change? I explained, hoping for some understanding. What are you whining about? I'm the one who brings home the bacon, right? It's only natural that you do all the housework, Alex replied, his tone dripping with superiority. His words left me speechless, and I didn't push the issue any further. Then, one day, as I was coming home, I was startled by a man's voice, calling out cheerfully, "Hey there, I'm home." It was my brother-in-law, Mike. Mike? What are you doing here? I asked, completely caught off guard. What do you mean? This is my house, he said, his words not matching reality at all. He seemed to be under the impression that he was at his parents' place. When I clarified that he wasn't at his folks' house, he just shrugged. Oh, if it's not, you should have just told me sooner. But I had told him that right from the start. Well, since you're here, make yourself at home, Alex said unexpectedly, welcoming his brother without hesitation. Wait, what? Why are you accepting this so easily? I protested, but Alex didn't seem to care, and so our life with Mike began. Mike, however, turned out to be incredibly rude. Hey Jean, I'm helping myself to the beer in the fridge, he announced, as if it were his home. I was shocked. He didn't even ask. When do you plan on leaving? It's already been 3 days, I asked cautiously. What? It's only been 3 days. Let me stay a bit longer, Mike replied, smiling as if nothing was wrong. Did he not understand that we didn't want him here? But that beer is Alex's, I started, trying to make a point. Then why don't we buy some more? He shot back casually, dismissing my concern. I wanted to argue, but I knew it would just be brushed off, so I stayed silent. A few days later, I asked Alex, when is your brother planning to leave? Huh? What are you talking about? My brother isn't leaving anytime soon, Alex said as if it were obvious. Apparently, Mike had a falling out with his parents and didn't want to go back home. I began to wonder if his earlier confusion about the house was an act. By the way, where's my beer? Alex suddenly asked. It's gone. Mike drank it, I replied. What? Go buy some more, right now, Alex demanded, his tone suddenly harsh. I had no choice but to comply. Just as I was about to leave, Mike called out, Oh Jean, if you're going shopping, get some snacks too. Why don't you buy them yourself? I asked, my patience wearing thin. Because it's just a hassle. As a housewife, you should handle it, he said dismissively, looking down on me as if I were nothing more than a servant. Enough is enough, I finally snapped, unable to tolerate his behavior any longer. Huh? Are you standing up to me? Mike's demeanor changed instantly, becoming menacing. Look, I'm not saying I want to stay here forever. I'm just asking to crash here for a bit, right? No need to get all worked up, he said, trying to downplay his imposition. Shut up, no buts. I responded, feeling the pressure from Mike's presence. Just then, Alex walked in. What's going on? Why are you arguing? He asked, looking between us. Because Mike refuses to leave our home, I explained. So what? It's fine if he stays, Alex replied nonchalantly. Besides, you can just buy more beer, can't you? Mike chimed in. Right. Feeling utterly defeated, I decided to drop it and went to buy the beer. But my passive acceptance only seemed to encourage Mike's increasingly obnoxious behavior. Hey Jean, beer, Mike called out, his voice grating on my nerves. Do you really think you'll get a beer talking to me like that? I snapped back. Huh? Are you defying me? Mike responded, his tone threatening. Before I knew it, a month had passed since Mike moved in. He had become as domineering as Alex, treating me like a mere servant. Well, isn't there a certain way to ask favors from others? Huh? What are you, a mere housewife, trying to tell me how to behave? Mike sneered, belittling me without hesitation. It was clear that Mike completely looked down on me. Just then, Alex called out from the entrance. Hey Jean, I'm off to play golf. You two have fun, he said casually. Wait a minute, alone with Mike? I asked, panic rising in my chest. Yeah. So what? Is there a problem? Alex replied, indifferent to my concerns. There's a big problem. Given Mike's recent behavior, it's obvious he's going to pull something. At least go play golf with Mike. I don't want to be alone with him. He doesn't do golf, Alex responded, ignoring my plea as he headed out the door. Huh, that's kind of hurtful. So you really don't want to be alone with me? Mike approached, a smirk on his face. When are you going to leave this house? You're treating me like a servant, I said, trying to stand my ground. Not like you are my servant, Mike finally admitted, his tone oozing with entitlement. I'm single after all. I've always wanted a servant like this. He genuinely seemed to believe that a housewife was nothing more than a servant. What a terrible man. I'm not a servant, I'm a proper housewife. I retorted, my voice shaking with frustration. What's the difference? Anyway, bring me some snacks. Hurry up, Mike ordered as he lounged on the couch. Outraged, I ignored him. But Mike, furious at my defiance, grabbed an ashtray and hurled it across the room. It shattered a glass shelf, missing me by mere inches. Hey, who do you think is in charge here? You're getting a bit too cheeky, aren't you? He snarled, his anger palpable. Feeling genuinely threatened, I reluctantly brought him the snacks and a fresh beer. Perfect. This is the life I've always wanted, he said, settling into the role of master of the house. I was terrified that if I didn't comply, he might throw something else. All I could do was wait for Alex to come home, praying for this nightmare to end. After several hours, Alex finally returned. Oh, Alex, I was so scared. I rushed to him, desperate for some support. Despite his usual domineering attitude, I thought he might finally come to my aid. But instead, he looked around and remarked, What happened to this room? It's a mess. He prioritized the state of the room over my distress. Well, Mike threw an ashtray, and I was scared. I tried to explain, hoping for some understanding. Huh? It didn't hit you, did it? Then it's no big deal, Alex said dismissively, as if my fear was insignificant. I couldn't believe it. What kind of husband says that when their wife might have been seriously hurt? Mike, adding insult to injury, chimed in. Hey, welcome home. Your wife trashed the room. What? It was you. I protested, but Alex, possibly drunk, refused to listen. Why are you blaming my brother? Alex scolded me instead, siding with Mike. No matter how desperately I insisted I wasn't at fault, Alex wouldn't hear it. He scolded me to take care of things and to take care of Mike. Drunk, Alex was even more troublesome, repeating the same things over and over. If I didn't at least pretend to listen, he'd get grumpy and start causing a scene. No matter how exhausted I was, I had no choice but to endure his lectures. I'm tired, I muttered after Alex finally stopped 2 hours later. But even though I was completely worn out, Alex mercilessly asked, So what's for dinner? Didn't you eat out? I asked, hoping that somehow he had. Why would I eat out? You mean you haven't prepared anything? His tone grew more irritated. I had just been scolded for 2 hours. How could he possibly think I had time to cook? Oh, you're so useless. You're really a failure as a housewife, Alex sneered, not only criticizing my cooking but also negating my worth as a person. What on earth have I done to deserve this? I wondered aloud, my voice trembling with exhaustion and frustration. Mike, snickering from the sidelines, found the whole situation hilarious. You're getting scolded. This is hilarious, he jeered. Maybe these brothers just enjoy tormenting people. In the end, no matter how tired I was, I cooked dinner for Alex and Mike, and as if to add insult to injury, they even complained that the food was bad. Finally, reaching my limit, I decided to confront Alex again. Hey, when is Mike going to go home? He's not going to stay here forever, is he? Not that again, Alex said, clearly annoyed. Maybe I had chosen the wrong time to bring it up. What's with you? Don't you care about my brother? To be honest, I didn't. After all, he just showed up at our house and started tormenting me. Just living with such a person was driving me to the brink. You know I've been having a rough time, don't you? How can you just ignore that? I asked, unable to hide my hurt and frustration. Look, everyone has stress, Alex began, before saying something utterly outrageous. Mike is particularly stressed, so he has to use you as a punching bag. I stared at him in disbelief. A punching bag? Me? Why? Because clearly in this house, You're the best fit to be a punching bag. You should be honored. You get to be Mike's punching bag, Alex said, as if he were bestowing some kind of twisted privilege on me. I don't want that, I shouted, finally standing up for myself. But Alex just shrugged. It's not about what you want or don't want. You're a punching bag. Punching bags don't have wills, do they? He said it with such conviction that I realized he meant every word. And when I thought about it, Alex had been abusing me for a while now, yelling at me for no reason, even physically hurting me at times. You're cruel, I muttered, tears welling up in my eyes. But even as I cried, Alex didn't seem to care. Oh, what a hassle. Women always think crying will solve everything. Cry all you want. I'm not going to do anything. Now go buy me a beer. Again with the beer. He didn't care about my feelings at all. Enough was enough. I couldn't take it anymore. I can't take it anymore, I shouted, surprising even myself. Alex looked taken aback, but quickly reverted to berating me. Why are you even mad? You have a problem with me and my brother. If you don't like it here, why don't you leave? This is my house, so you're the one who should leave. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Leaving me and staying with his brother wasn't the problem for Alex. Even when I asked for clarification, all he could say was, yes, you should leave. That's crazy. Why should Mike get to stay when he's the one who came later? He's my brother, right? And you're just a stranger who isn't blood related to me, Alex said coldly. A stranger. I never imagined that the man I married out of love could treat me so horribly. Something inside me shattered at his words. Oh, what? Are you shocked? If you hate it so much, just leave. You can divorce me too, Alex taunted, his voice dripping with disdain. I stood there in disbelief. Was he really considering divorce? It seemed that Mike was more important to him than I was. That night, we both went to bed without saying another word. But I couldn't sleep. Alex's cruel words echoed in my mind. Leave. Divorce. Was I the only one who thought we were in love? As I lay there, my pillows soaked with tears, I made a decision. A few days passed after that incident before Alex called me. Hey, where are you? Where did you go this morning? His voice sounded irritated. You just noticed? It's been a few days since I left, I replied calmly. I didn't care if you were gone. I was eating instant noodles, but I've run out. Make me some food. Alex's tone grew flustered as he raised his voice. I couldn't help but think he could keep eating instant noodles for the rest of his life. Well, I've started living alone, I responded. What? You're living alone? He seemed genuinely surprised. There was a studio apartment available right away, so I signed the lease on the spot. I'll have the movers send my stuff later. What the hell are you thinking? Make dinner for me and Mike, Alex demanded, his frustration palpable. Why should I? You were the one who told me to leave, I reminded him. No, that was. Alex tried to sound firm, but his voice gradually faltered, his own words betraying him. Anyway, come back home. This is a husband's order, he said, attempting to regain control by yelling at me. But strangely enough, I wasn't scared of Alex anymore. Why do I have to come back? There's nothing but unpleasantness for me if I return. Whether it's unpleasant or not doesn't matter. You're a servant in this house, he retorted. Again with the servant comment. Did these brothers really think I had no human rights? I was too flabbergasted to respond, so I decided to tell him about my decision. Alex, do you know I've decided to do as you said. What? What are you talking about? I'm getting a divorce. A divorce? He sounded shocked. How could he be so surprised when he was the one who had brought up the topic? Don't be ridiculous. There's no way I'm getting a divorce. I refuse, he snapped, unwilling to lose this convenient housekeeper. But his obnoxious behavior only strengthened my resolve. It's because of you and your brother. You've oppressed me this whole time, and I've been holding back. Perhaps realizing I was serious, Alex's voice began to tremble. Hey, you're joking, right? Are you seriously going to get a divorce? I'll go to your parents and convince them. What good would that do? I already talked to them. They won't listen to you. What? He sounded panicked, finally realizing the gravity of the situation. If only he had kicked out his brother and changed his ways sooner. Come on, please reconsider. My brother says he's sorry. These were the kinds of people who only apologized when they were in a pinch. There was no way I could trust their words of regret. I'm sorry, but I can't trust a word you say. I will never forget what you've done, nor do I intend to forgive it. Hearing this, Alex became even more desperate. Wait, please, I'm begging you. But I was done pleading. The more we talked, the more pathetic Alex seemed. Goodbye. We have nothing more to discuss. Wait, let's talk this out. Please don't go through with the divorce. I proceeded with the divorce process through my lawyer, and it was successfully finalized. After I left, Alex and Mike ended up having a big fight over who would do the housework. Two grown men fighting full out, they both ended up in the hospital. After all they had done to me, they got what they deserved. Now, even though I'm single, my life is much easier than when I was with Alex. I only wish I had left him sooner.